So far, so good. Nothing screaming at me. Nothing screaming at me. We seem to be live.
Seem to be.
Seem to be live. I don't trust it until we confirm sound now because life. Excuse me, experience.
I think it's good.
What's that?
I think it's good.
Yeah. Anyone able to do a lips check? Lips. 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 Lips.
Looks good.
Okay.
Your lips are working.
Avocado.
Avocado. Okay. Yeah, anyone who wants to help me
Swain.
tweet this out, link it, post it, share it, tag it. I didn't do all of the pre-stream prep went into changing characters and putting name placards up and swearing and feeding cats. And a lot of that was swearing. This time we decided to do it off the stream as opposed to on. Everyone's welcome. This is
I'm gonna post in streaming.
Yeah, this is Courage the Cowardly One-Shot. This is new territory for the Electric Dice podcast. We've done a lot of home rules and a lot of cutting of corners. We've done a lot of nonsense. Now it's just complete homebrew and utter chicanery as we venture back to nowhere. I wrote a brief interlude in my head while I was taking a shower. It is not on paper or digital format, so I don't remember all of what it said. Excepting, of course, that, the camera follows one Beevil. Is that right? Beevil?
Evil.
Or Beevil. Be-evil.
There we go.
Yeah. The camera follows Beevil, or whatever he just said. Are you on... You're coming in on the rail track. Are you on a train, or are you like pushing a hand cart? Or are you?
We're hanging off the back.
You're hanging off the back. Okay.
Like suit fluttering, having to hold onto it, and the briefcase in his hand.
Right, like the train almost left without you. You Darjeeling Limited jumped on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interestingly enough, there's a sign for nowhere. Near the rail tracks as you're coming into town. And it says, hold on, number. It says there's a certain, because I know how many people live in town, and it's either here or it's in here. Anyway, I guess the real number doesn't matter, because the reason it stands out to you is because it says, like 2,801 and a half. That's the part that seems odd. Do you remark anything about that, or do you just file that away for later?
I think my opening shot just has to be him with a really creepy big grin on his face as he reaches civilization again.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's cool. We'll return to that later then, because I had planned to do to prep everybody with their first scene. Once again, spent a lot of time swearing at cats, which have now invaded this room. Squid, can you tell us a little about the scarecrows? I can make you better, because I want to. I want to the opening. The other opening scene. I want to be the end of that process. So tell us a little bit about the farm and what it looks like when you go into the whole thing.
Farm's probably pretty much abandoned now. Very quiet. It's got that creaking fence that kind of like rocks in the wind a little bit. Scarecrow's sitting on the porch on the rocking chair, rocking back and forth, smiling.
Oh, okay, so we see you. This was done a little while ago. You've already like washed up or finished the process, and then now you're just kind of hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, your new friend, are they allowed to wander around the property, or do they stay down below for re-education for a while?
They stay down below for re-education for a while, but they're better now, so they can come out soon.
Okay. Well, then I think we do not see them moving around. Instead, we just kind of pan slowly down from where you are to, like, glass bricks, kind of, a couple feet of old slate stone, kind of piled, and we just see a shadow and hands, right? Just, like, touch it and just kind of slowly slide down, but we don't see who they are or what they are doing. We transition from that to Cecil. Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Cecil, we decided you were at the hotel. God, I can't think today. Can't think. There's two options. There's a few. Oh, let me turn this on real quick. There's a few rooms at the Tavern Green, and then there's also a lot of small little, like, log cabin, cottage, farmhouses at Bay House Cottages. So which would you rather be at?
Is the Tavern Green more of a motel type of situation?
No, the Tavern Green's actually a pretty nice restaurant, but they have, like, 3 rooms available. Bay House Cottages is actually, like, kind of the more...
Alright, I'm in the Bay House Cottages.
Okay, cool.
I'm in the more... Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to narrate what Cecil has to do to get ready every morning?
Yeah, I guess so. I think so you see a fish bowl in a bed that has a little skeleton panda sea squirt. It's this little tubular looking worm thing that kind of looks like a panda skeleton that's just attached to, like, a singular rock in a fish bowl. And you see this kind of, like, body, this long trench coat body, kind of like a Dick Tracy detective outfit with, like, gloves and everything, no head, picks up the fish bowl and plops it right on, gets the little fedora, puts it on top of the fish bowl, and he brews himself a little bit of coffee and kind of, like, tips the hat and dumps a little of the coffee in the fish bowl. And he just kind of, like, stares at a wall that's just full of, like, pictures and the red string going from here to there to everywhere. Just about, like, cryptids and all of the strange things going on in nowhere. He's trying to get to the bottom of the mysteries.
Yeah, you're very, very firm Pepe Silva vibes coming from this room. Okay. We've got 2 nice old ladies. Which nice old lady would like to go first?
I'm more like a nice old young lady.
Oh, excuse me. All right, well, we'll let the old lady go first.
All right.
Listen to her.
So I think Irene. We just see, like, her and her husband's bed, and she, the sun is just starting to come in the window, and she reaches over and she turns on the lamp next to her bed, and the lamp turns on, but I guess the camera follows the wire coming out of the lamp to where it hits the wall, but the electrical outlet has been pulled out, and there's all sorts of weird machinery, like all sorts of weird bits and boodles coming out of there. And there's a wire along the exterior of the wall that's now we're following as it sort of runs along the floor. And then we get to the top of the stairs where there is a microwave, probably, with the door's been pulled off, and it just turns on and there's this hallway is just filled with this, like, blue glow. We follow the wire down the stairs where there's a traffic light hanging at the bottom of the stairs at green, yellow, red. It turns on. And then as we just go through the house, we see all just this, like, completely batshit insane, like, kludged together home appliance stuff start to, like, churn to life. Like, there's the dishwasher has been pulled out from the wall, and so it just, like, there's all this ducts going between it and the sink, and then there's the washing machine just starts spinning, and it's obviously just, like, full of nickels. It just makes, like, a tremendous amount of noise. And just the whole house just, like, slowly, like, there's also full of animals. Like, there's cats and dogs, like, just everywhere, and they're all living together in peace. And there's, like, a ding, and then, like, you know, a coffee machine starts.
You know, I almost said it, and I was like, no, I'm gonna let him hate this picture, because I was like 10-1. This is all to get a cup of coffee. Like.
Well, it's also to protect me from the dark ray energy. So there's that too.
There's that too. Excuse me, Irene. I apologize.
It's all right.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah. Remind me real quick. Is your husband still with us?
His name was Henry, I think. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Is he at work, or does he have to deal with this?
Oh, he's retired. This has just become part of his life now. He spends a lot of time in the garage now for some reason.
Like a lot of time.
Yeah, he's got this car that he says that he works on, but he seems like he mostly just drinks.
God, if I had a garage, I would drink in it. Okay.
Benefit of being retired, I guess.
Yeah. What do you got to live for? Okay. So yeah, you know, do we see you come down and get the coffee, or does the shot fade out on the coffee? You know, like, I think, one servo sort of wiggly drops a cup and. Yeah.
The thing, and then, like, a panel falls, and just, like, dozens of sugar cubes just fall.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So we fade out on that. Over to is Dahlia.
Dahlia.
Okay. I was like, it's not Delilah. I know it's not Delilah. Tell me a little about your morning routine.
Dahlia isn't from nowhere. She's actually from the middle of somewhere, and she moved to the middle of nowhere when she graduated high school. She works at her daily morning routine is pretty normal. She gets ready like any other average human being. The main difference is her morning checkup with the space whales using their mirror communicators that they taught her how to build.
I'm sorry, mirror communicators?
Yeah, mirror communicators.
Okay, and what does a mirror communicator look like?
So it looks like let's say a hand mirror with a bunch of batteries and wires kind of all over the place. She had to get walked through on how to make this, but good thing her craft skills are really good. Is probably the only thing that helped her manage it.
Right. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. Just checks in, says good morning, asks how their journey back to Earth is going, and see if they have anything in specifics that they want her to do today.
Okay. Do you have a skill for mirror communication? Not exactly. Do you want to try crafts then?
Yeah, I think crafts. Crafts is going to be good, because it's like how well I put it together.
Right.
How do I do this?
So you're looking to roll your skill or lower. You're going to roll just a D100 /R space D100. Your craft is 45.
Yeah.
So a couple things to know about the system. It's very straightforward because I made it in an afternoon. D100 roll under. If we play long enough, we'll start caring about leveling up skills.
Cool.
for the purposes of combat, this is a cartoon and a happy story, even if it's a little weird. Things should be framed in such a way as, I'm using athletics or acrobatics to get there before they do, right? I push a chair in their way to stop them, not I knock them out and kill them, right? If we get into a real serious situation, if we all agree that there needs to be some sort of, added level of violence, we'll do that. But up until that point, we're going to intend to all survive this encounter and our enemies too. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. So rolling a D100. Roll the 7.
I mean, so it's pretty well made. So there's a
lot of glitter glue holding it together.
Yeah, the machines are strong with this party. As you fire it up and it makes some sort of strange color. The room smells of ozone for a moment, and then kind of refracted very far away through some sort of liquid crystal display. We see 2 or 3 of these space whales just kind of floating.
Can I make amend something real quick?
Yeah.
It's not a hand mirror. It's like one of those milk carton things with all the mirrors inside of it to look really far away.
Like a kaleidoscope thing?
No, like that tube that you put the different mirrors. Oh, does anybody know what I'm talking about?
Chad?
Gee, I don't know what it's called.
Am I validated here? You take a milk carton, and then you put a sideways piece of glass here, and then a little bit up, you put another one. Periscope. It's like a periscope.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
And then you look through it, and you see the space whales.
Okay. So you're holding a periscope in your bedroom.
Yeah.
But somehow you're seeing elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty clever. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So you see 2 or 3 of them. How do you know whether they are close or far away? Like, is this faux glass stuff, right? You see the whites of their eyes, that's how you know?
Yeah, it's like, it's give or take on how well you're able to see them. Like, sometimes it's like, well, I'm kind of like up in their nose hairs talking to them. And then other times it's like, I'm having to like yell a little bit because they're a little too far away for me to hear, or for them to hear me at normal conversation. It all depends on how like the frequencies kind of match up, and the weather, and like where they happen to be at the particular time frame. Like, it's all that celestial stuff has to like be perfect.
Yeah. So today we're happy to say that the whales are very close. Good connection with the whales.
It's good.
Yeah. How do you communicate with them? Is it just feelings and emotions, or?
Nah, they talk English. They're from Earth. Or that's what they tell me.
Oh, okay. So we see them.
Yeah, they're just like jabbing away at each other, and then they realize like I kind of tuned in on them. They get the little like bing bong of their celestial notifications on their cell phone.
Sure. Yeah, and I think the audience sees these extraordinarily malevolent, whales with sharp teeth, and biker glasses, and at a great distance, just kind of staring in. And then, is it Dahlia? Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Dahlia.
Dahlia's like, I'll bring you home, don't worry. Or however you're framing that.
Yeah, they've given me some sad story about how they were excommunicated from our universe, and the Starbringers didn't like having them here, and they want to come home, but they haven't been able to figure it out because their GPS is broken.
Right, yeah, and it all seems very normal to you.
It's very normal.
And not at all concerning.
No.
Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. Alright, I like that. So, the other thing I wanted to say about using skills, if you can get someone to help you, you get a bonus of half of their skill, right? So if somebody has craft of 40 and they're helping Dahlia make a thing, she gets to add 20 to it. So being together is good. It will help you succeed in things and also stuff. And then whenever we have ties or disagreements that we cannot seem to figure out for ourselves, if it is someone needs to just make a decision and go for it, we will use the highest leadership. If we're having trouble figuring out where it is we're going, whoever has the highest drive will get us there, right? And if we just have no way to decide anything, the highest luck will take care of that.
All three of those stats are my lowest.
Mm-hmm. So there's that. It is at this point that I'm going to turn it over to you a little bit, which I realize is kind of a weird thing. The world is going to do its own thing at predetermined intervals. So if anybody has a scene or a question, what I think might be interesting is the people who have a goal or know what they're doing just start walking us through a day. We'll jump around a little bit, and then either we'll start colliding into each other, or you'll collide into some of the specific NPCs that also have goals, because a lot of the town just goes about their day, right? Does their job, eats their food, hides from the space whales, whatever it might be. But there are a few people who are new in town. There are a few people who are in town and want things, and you will run across them.
Irene, where do you live on this map?
Oh, I think I live somewhere close to the post office. I think I live in somewhere in this part of the development. Yeah, right.
I think I remember one of those.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then the rail yard comes in right over here.
Perfect. Irene, I think unless if you're going out for the day or have already gone out, you get a knock on your door.
Yeah, I think that I am. I don't think I've left yet. I think that when you, by the time you get there, I'm inside. I've got a shop. I'm loading some of my Orgone Energy Vortex scanner into a shopping cart because I'm gonna have to haul that thing around all day and it's really heavy.
That's fair.
You know.
Yeah. As anyone who's ever tried to lug an Orgone Energy Vortex detector will tell you. Yeah. So I got a knock on the door, and
Yes.
say, Harold, can you get the door?
Right, and somewhere there's just the sounds of a lush, right? As many bottles and cans move, but very slowly, and a more insistent knock.
Harold, I'll get it. And I go and I get the door. I get the door. 2 or 3 cats bolt out the door as soon as. And who am I looking at?
You see a very tall and skinny man wearing a purple and white zoot suit, and he's got a really wide brim hat that has the same color scheme, and he's holding a briefcase in his hand. And when you answer the door, he kind of leans into your face, and his head turns at almost an unnatural angle, and he just goes, "Hello, friend. How are you today?"
Well, let me find out. And I take I've got a big basically a mop handle with what is essentially a Coleman lantern stuck on the end. And I give it a couple of shakes, and I watch the lantern sort of glows a little bit, and I go, I think all right.
I love your character so much.
That's a very interesting device you have. Where did you acquire such a thing?
Oh, I built them. I built all of these. My husband Harold helps. I'm not,
Right, and in a great distance, he's just who is it?
Salesman, I think.
Why?
Just wordless. Ah!
I mean, in my head, I said we don't want any, but how you took it is up to you.
That it was wordless garble. Do do you want to step inside? Have something to drink?
I would love to.
Right this way. Mind the dogs.
Just too
Are
friendly.
you? Here's a question: are you a person dogs would like or very much not like?
Very much not like.
All right, yeah. All the dogs are like.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
A horde of angry dogs.
are they like tied up at all, or are they free roaming?
No, they're not tied up at all.
Okay.
They're absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like there's a scene where like maybe you're. I don't want to like take over your dogs here, so this doesn't have to happen. But there's like a scene where like one of your dogs like comes up and like growling, and you're not looking, and I like smile like my sharp teeth at it, and it's like Yip! Runs away.
That's fine. I dig that. That's a good beat. All right.
But yeah, I think cool. So where do we like go somewhere and sit down?
Yeah, we sit down at the table. It's incredibly loud in this room because there's a running dishwasher and a running dryer full of like pool like billiard balls in there. Like
Sure.
like oh, let me turn this down.
Not off.
I don't turn it off.
Yeah.
Yeah. I sit like super politely, like hands on my lap, and just wait until
Yeah.
you're like ready.
There's a kitchen table. I'll bring you I don't know, some scones,
Scone.
cup of coffee.
That would be lovely.
Yeah, we've got another one in the pot here. I give you a cup of coffee and I sit down. Where are you? Where have you come in from? I don't recognize you. I've done like 4 different accents for this woman, by the way.
That doesn't
That's
matter.
perfect.
5 minutes, I've done 4 different accents.
Oh,
I mean, that's
you know,
how you avoid everything.
I travel here and there. I've been around, as they say.
Hmm.
But you, my friend, you are a very interesting person. I don't know if I've met anyone like you who's had such a exquisite collection of artifacts. I think I may have something that you'd really enjoy. And he like pops open his briefcase. And we get this like, so the briefcase pops open and then it's like comically large rack of different potions like pops out of it. And you're like, how the fuck does he fit this in, right? And they're all like jingling, and like some of them are like weirdly open, and like bubbles are like rising out of them, right?
Right, they're actively smoking.
Yeah, it's
Some of
just
them are
like,
hot to the touch.
and you just see me like filtering through, and you see like big like skulls and X's, and you see like things written in like ancient archaic ruins. And then he pulls out a vial, and he goes, "This right here," and he sets it on the table. And he says, "You seem like a woman who has big dreams." And he pushes it across, and there's just this little label on it that says "Dreamy," DREAMI,
Can I?
and a trademark symbol.
Obviously.
Oh yeah, no, of course. You don't want your IP stolen. Can I roll? Dave, can I roll my commune with the Pleiadians to vibe check this shady potion merchant?
So much so that I implore you to please. Also, I definitely was like, is that a word? Google it. Did he spell it wrong? No, I don't think so.
Oh no, I did not invent the Pleiadians.
Yeah. Merely discovered them. I believe that's enough, right? Yeah.
So the Pleiadians communicate mostly in vibes. So like, what sort of vibe do I get?
So I want to answer that, and you were successful. Mike, do you want to do a strange check to see if this potion does what you would like it to?
Sure.
Because then you can tell me what it's supposed to do, and then I can, and then in turn interpret that as defined by saviors of the realm and defeaters of the reptoids. If I have that correctly.
Do I just roll 1d100?
Yeah, I mean, if you have a skill if you'd rather use craft for it, that's fine. But you said your named skills were suave and strange.
Yeah, I think this is strange. Oh, that's not
okay.
good,
So
is
what
it?
did you intend for it to do? Because we did not get there.
Yeah, so the potion. So I'll finish the pitch So the pitch is, he tells you this is the type of potion for dreamers such as yourself, because what it can do is make all your dreams come true. And what that means is it literally just like your dreams start popping into reality. So like any nightmares you have or any like good or bad, your dreams become reality. That is what it is supposed to do.
I do like that.
All right, so that's what it was supposed to do. It doesn't do that exactly, but it might do something like that. So you did a vibe check. You were successful. So I think what if you had to assign a number that the Pleiadians vibrated at, what would it be?
244, obviously.
244. Okay, and then you as a human now of the modern age, what number do you vibrate at?
Oh, like 7.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I'm really at the top of the curve there.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. So this is like in a 150 range. It's very sharp. It stands out to you. It definitely does a thing. This is not alcohol mixed with turpentine, topped off with soap, right? Like there is some. Now is Irene mystical or is she just scientific?
Oh, the Pleiadians are real.
Right, but does
There's
she
nothing mystical about it? They're real. The reptoids live in the Hollow Earth, and I build the machines to protect me from dark ray energy. I have a degree in mathematics.
Okay, you answered my question. So you think that perhaps, and then you haven't introduced yourself, have you? Be evil. Right? Like you've just been a dude so far? You're muted. Or you're cutting out, I don't know.
Yeah, I did not introduce myself.
Okay.
I don't think she's asked my name, and the name is Beevil.
Beevil?
Very much.
Yeah, sorry. I think that you're of the opinion that perhaps they have discovered something as well, right? Because like you said, the reptoids are real, and the Earth is hollow, and whatever else you believe.
Yeah. Okay. So this has got some real juice. This is some real. Do you know? Not to be rude, I had you pegged for a huckster when you came in the door, but this is something. This is really something here. Again, just keep going with the accents. Never settle down.
He laughs and says, "Yes, many people have said that, but I assure you, all of my products are quite real."
Well, what would you like for this? Probably more than just a cup of coffee, right?
He laughs and he says, "Well, the ingredients to make this are quite rare and it takes much time. But I am so convinced in the I can't speak. In the realness.
Authenticity.
There we go.
I can't say your name, you can't say authenticity. It's fine.
I'm so convinced that this potion will work well for you that I'm willing to give you the first one on the house." And he slides it over and his eyes like gleam a little bit.
Oh,
and maybe like you don't see it, but in the shadow there's like some snakes dancing under his hat.
Right, yeah. The shadow just goes right through the hat and instead we see...
Yeah. Very cartoony.
I can't just take this here. Hold on. Let me see if I can... Just wait there. And I go, like, open the cabinet under the sink. And I pull out what is clearly, like... It's, what is it? I think it's a blender, but it's just full of, like, the goop from inside of glow sticks, essentially. Is what
I love that stuff.
And the top of it has been replaced by a tiny little electrical fan instead of the lid that would normally be on the blender. And I'll be... Here you go!
He smiles and says, "Oh, thank you. This is marvelous." And he just like takes it and pulls open his like zoot suit, and it's just like a gaping hole that he just like shoves it into, right? Like,
it's an old one battery. Hold on to those.
The other thing I'll say that again, character sheets were getting finished in the 11th hour. Everyone, go ahead and roll a D100. And then if you want, you can roll a D100 plus 100. Damn. That's how much starting money everyone has.
Ooh.
So you got a couple dollars. Now, if you live in town and Jesus, what the hell is this shit? 86, 99, 51, 15, 96, 74. That's in the upper percentiles here.
I get like 196, right? Plus 100.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sweet.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, same for Irene. And Mike.
I'm so
Evil.
poor.
It's okay.
Bevel.
Bevel. I don't think that's Bevel. Like, Casey,
It's
can
Bevel.
you... What is the pronunciation of that
It's
technically?
like
It's-
Weevil, but
It's Bevel.
evil.
Beevil.
It's like you're saying Weevil.
I'm pretty sure when two letters are in a row, they say their name.
It's Bevel.
They go E.
They pinch each other.
God damn. All right. Anyway, yeah. So everyone's got a couple dollars. The other thing I will say, I am monitoring everyone's scenes. Once everyone has completed the 3 scenes, the world will do a thing. A certain amount of those happen, and then we move into the next phase of the game. Tom or Mike, do you want to do anything out there, or are we good with that? Do we fade away?
I kind of like ending on that with you leaving the door, doing evil facial gestures, and me petting a cat, holding a cat in one arm while looking at this vial that I've just received.
Do you drink it while I'm here, or do you just say like, "Oh, I'll keep it for later"?
Yeah, well, I just had a cup of coffee, so
You gotta wait till Act 2 of the game.
yeah.
Yeah. Bevel goes walking off to find his next customer.
Okay. Does anyone have a scene they would like then? It's a little early for me to advance the plot line.
So part of my getting ready for the day is I have to swing by the post office to return all the mail I shouldn't have got.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like gathering
you know the
up.
rules.
Yeah, I know the rules. Like, we have to return the mail.
Yep.
We weren't supposed to get it.
Nope.
So I'm gathering it up. I'm going to the post office. Unfortunately, it's out of my way from the school, so I have to do this whole double back thing. But rules will rules.
Right.
Yeah. So I'm
my
going to the post
goodness.
office
Sorry,
and
hold on
inquiring.
one sec. The cats are destroying each other.
Oh no!
Cat murder.
That's dark ray energy for you. It's powerful stuff.
Okay. Can I ask a question? For Irene,
Oh yeah, go ahead.
is Irene just like everything is off the top here?
No, I stole big chunks of Irene from a blog that I really like. But the reptoids, the Pleiadians, the Orgone energy, that's all classic like crazy people stuff. That far predates any of us. People have been collecting Orgone energy and fighting the reptoids for many decades now.
Sorry
Learning
about
a whole lot of stuff today.
Yeah, we're gonna start doing just chatting sessions. That's actually just stream of consciousness, Tom. That's it. That's the whole game.
So yeah, I grabbed my mail, put it in the bag, got my little periscope communicator, because you never know when you might get buzzed by the space whales. And just a mess load of Sharpies and glue and 5 scissors for some reason, all shoved into this crap bag. And I go to my post office to return to sender all the mail.
Yeah, so now does anyone also think that they are near the post office or going to the post office, coming from the post office?
Where is the post office?
It's at the post office / bowling alley / Tees Cafe at Town Oval.
Yep.
Oh. There's a cafe.
Yes.
I'll be going there for my breakfast.
Oh, awesome. Perfect. I love it. Okay.
So yeah, I'm at the post office. I've got like the bundle of mail. I'm asking if they got anything that like was technically supposed to be mine because most of the mail is like never ours. And yeah, they got anything for me?
Yeah, okay, so at the post office, that is... Post office, Corinne Hawksley. And you're not from here, but how long have you been here?
At the middle of nowhere school for like 3 years now.
Oh, okay,
like
so this is old hat.
Yeah. 3, yeah, like I'm used to this process. Like, I'm not from the middle of nowhere, but like I'm a native middle of nowhereian.
Right. Yeah, so okay, Corinne's also, probably like for being like a federal job, probably only like 4 or 5 years away from retirement, probably like 10 years away from retirement normally. She's got like that kind of slate blue hair, right? Kind of wavy, kind of always in place. And she's kind of bent over the counter, right? Just sort of keeping an eye on the door, but mostly just hanging out. And she just kind of grins a very wide, gummy mouth.
Like she's got more gums than teeth.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you look... You must have some good news for me today. You look way too happy. You don't normally greet me like this.
Right, yeah, and she, she's just like... It's not yours. And she just throws it into the bin.
It's just like immediately like... Just like... depressed.
Oh no. I went too far.
In my 3 years... for some history, in my 3 years of moving to middle of nowhere, I haven't gotten a single piece of postage that's actually my own.
Do you open the stuff that you get?
No, because, like, you gotta respect the postal laws, because, like, you can get arrested for that kind of stuff.
That's
Federal
true,
crime.
Yeah, it's a federal crime. I'm not
fair.
going to jail.
Right. She's like...
But, like, I stare longing, like, sometimes when I get a package that's, like, clearly somebody bought a gift for somebody, like, I make up stories about the mail, like, pretending, like, oh, people care about me, like, somebody got me these galoshes, like, I've always wanted a pair of galoshes, and then, like, fishnet raincoat, like, as it says on the packaging, and then, like, clearly, like, waterlogged hate mail that you can kind of like read, like if you hold it up to the light you can like read it and come up with your own stories,
right? And you're in your head, right? Because you were hoping today was the day, and she's like hey, what are you waiting for? Who are you hoping is going to message you? Where do you think you are right now?
It's like when you leave home, you leave people behind and you hope that they think about you sometimes.
I've been here. I've been nowhere all my life. There's nobody out there.
I take all the mail out of my bag and like put it on the counter. It's like nothing is open, everything's in its proper place. Like, but then I anecdote on the people a little bit. Like I talk about like how Susie was writing to her mom about like how terrible her first semester at college is going. But I can only read like part of it because you can only see through the letter so much. No,
absolutely. Do me a favor, Riley. Have your character jump in here. I have to separate these cats again.
All right.
This isn't a joke. This isn't a bit. This is just really awful cats.
All right. I think Cecil would be kind of like getting a croissant at this cafe and kind of breaking it into like little flake pieces and dropping it into the fishbowl. We just kind of like noms it. He kind of looks over, I guess, at you with kind of looking at us a little bit sad, I guess. Well, are you an old lady? Is that what you are?
No, let's go with like I'm like in my like I'm in my like mid-30s, but I tell everyone I'm in my late 20s.
Okay. Like, excuse me, miss. Did you say you don't get mail?
Yeah, like technically most of the mail we get here isn't our own, but you get mail sometimes. It's just you have to follow the laws and return to sender most things, and I just like hope that like someone's thinking about me.
Quite
And
curious.
I
Quite
talk about
curious.
the space whales and how they buzz me sometimes.
He pulls out a wet notepad and starts writing on it. Quite curious. That is indeed a mystery.
Oh, I'm glad you find my lack of people. I'm glad it's so interesting.
No, I'm sure someone's stealing your mail. That's gotta be the explanation. Maybe mail gremlins.
That would explain things.
Yeah, actually, Riley, go ahead and roll a notice. Because you're having... I was gone. I'm imagining you're having this conversation in the post office, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead
So,
and...
like,
yeah, go ahead and roll that real quick. Go ahead and roll your notice.
post office has like one of those open window things, so like he noticed me, came in, started chatting.
Oop.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Wow.
Dahlia, is your notice above 30?
Yes.
Okay, then you have a chance to roll as well.
Okay.
Okay, so just the camera, just the audience, as soon as he says male gremlins, see Corinne just go pale ass white. Her mouth buttons up. She glances back and forth. She leans down, and we do a shot that's like, security footage from behind the desk, right? And there's like 7 little doors underneath, right, the thing. And she just like closes one, and all we see is like a little hand, like, right, trying like, she's just like,
We're obviously turned away and like on our way out. Like,
yeah, right. And she's just very nervous and very quiet.
There's some
Like,
strange things going on in this town, and I'm here to figure it out.
well, I would definitely love to like hear some good news on this, because like I haven't heard anything, and it's like it's really sad.
But have you seen anything?
I don't tell people about the space whales, so I'm not gonna like keep that to myself.
If I'm remembering correctly, though, you have some suspicions.
I do have some suspicions that
Okay.
I'm not from this town. People were here before me, so obviously somebody has to have seen like the space whale shrine before me.
Okay.
I just don't know who.
Okay. Yep. Just checking.
Yeah.
Just checking.
Yeah. So like I'm asking, are you you're curious about stuff going on here? Like, are you from here?
No, I'm not. I'm actually from a large society outside of nowhere. They're quite large.
Like tall?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that. It's pretty tall, pretty wide.
Cool. I'm not from nowhere either.
Oh, really? I would have pegged you for a local. You look very nowhere-y.
And I think back to all the times where like people have just overlooked me in my life, and I'm like, oh, I'm glad I've found my home.
Now, Squid, do you have an idea of where you are, or what you're doing? Because I don't imagine... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, I don't imagine you go strolling through town very often. It's possible you keep to the outskirts. So I was going to say, I didn't know if you wanted to jump in there somehow, or if we want Mike to run into them, because honestly, he would have been pretty close if we... if I turn the map on for chat really quick. So the post office the bowling alley and Tea's Cafe are at the town oval because it's not a square. And then, you know, not knowing exactly which way Bevel is going, this is not a, you know, it's only 15 feet. That's not very far.
Yeah, I mean,
Close to the 50 that the farm would be.
I would swing by, but if Squid's got a scene, I think that'd be cool too.
I mean, everybody's got to return mail, right?
Yeah, like I chat up the local, you know, where are the hot spots in town. The postal workers are usually pretty gossipy,
True.
so that's why I'd swing by.
Yeah. What are you thinking for your next scene, Squid? Is there someone you want to run into?
Not in particular.
Okay.
The Scarecrow probably has to let their new friend calm down a little, get used to their better situation.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, Mike, let's have you run into them then.
Sure. Yeah, so I think Bevel comes walking into the post office and is, without like RPing it too much, is probably like trying to flirt up a storm with the lady behind the counter. And there's like some like laughing, but he's like, oh, where do people congregate? Where do I meet people? And then I guess if you guys want to like jump in, or maybe I see you too, I'm not sure.
Like, I'm pretty focused on trying to, like, school starts in like 20 minutes, and I need to be there to man the library.
Okay, so you want to hustle out of here and leave Bevel with Cecil?
Yeah, I leave him my information though, so that he can get out. Like, I'm really interested. Like, if you can find things out. So I leave my information with Cecil.
Okay.
I can't spell.
Yeah, so I think at some point Bevel would just see Cecil. And just be like, hello.
Hello there, sir.
What are you up to on this lovely morning?
I was just enjoying a delicious croissant at the cafe.
Oh my. That sounds delicious.
Is indeed.
What's your character look like exactly again? I remember how you got dressed up for the morning, but how do you look now that you're all like...
So it's pretty much the same. Like, just a plain old fish bowl with the little tubular skeletal-looking worm attached to a rock. With a little
normal.
Yeah, normal for like the head, and then the fedora on top. So like, and then the full-on trench coat. You know, like how probably looks kind of like, you know, two kids stacked on top of each other, and then like there's arms, but you can't necessarily see the hands because there's gloves on them, and then pantsuit and business shoes.
I think he like looks at the bowl, and you can tell his mind's like calculating on how he spins that he could spin this. I mean, maybe you don't understand that like he's calculating in that way, but you see him think for a second, and he goes, "You're somebody who likes liquid."
I do.
Subtle.
Well then, and he like clips the.
Hydration
Clips
is
his briefcase, and the whole thing goes bloop, out again. And he's like, "I have the perfect liquid for you." And you see him like scrounging around, and he pulls out another bottle of Dreamy.
Mike went super deep on this batch.
And he says, "This here, my fine friend, may be exactly what you're looking for to take your lovely morning stroll and turn it into more of an adventure. One sip of this, and I promise you, all of your dreams will come true."
Oh, that's quite interesting. That sounds delightful. It's kind of odd that you're selling me a thing inside of a post office bowling alley cafe.
Oh, never mind that. That's... I find it is best to do business when inspiration strikes, and you are an inspiring fellow.
I feel like there's solicitation laws.
He like peers around, sees if anyone's glaring at him, and then he's like, I've already taken care of all that, don't worry.
Oh, I actually like that. Roll suave for me.
Uh-oh. I just rolled a D100 and then I was just checking what the score was.
Yeah, 55.
Yeah. Fuck!
Yeah. So you tried to sell up Corinne Hawksley, and she was not having any of it. She's like, "You can take your weird mojo juice and get the hell out."
So does she like interrupt the sale?
No. We flash back to it when you're like, "I took care of that," and we like do ba ba ba, right, and it's just her yelling at you. But then, your character, so I don't want to tell you what to do. But if there's a brief moment where flip, reveal the hat.
No, I think like as she walks away, he like hisses at her,
Okay.
and like his tongue goes for a second.
Right. Okay.
And now he's trying very hard to like make sure he's doing this when she's not looking.
Right. Yeah.
And he goes, and lastly, while I am a salesman, as you so astutely observed, this first bottle, I'm so confident the product would be on the house. So technically, we are not breaking any solicitation laws.
Wow, how generous of you.
He smiles. Say,
That's absolutely wonderful. In fact, I will take one.
he hands it to you and he gives you a card. And he's like, now tell all your friends, and if you ever need more, you know where to find me. You have no fucking clue where to find him.
Absolutely, I will.
And then he just like closes his briefcase and like runs out.
So Cecil's whole goal was to pretty much take this liquid because he's incredibly suspicious about it. It's weird. It's so weird. That's not what we do in our C society. So he's taking it and kind of like studying it. Maybe it's in connection to one of the very many mysteries.
Yeah, no, I like that. There is... Oh, I used that name. Hold on. Sorry. I'm trying to make sure I know who is where. How long have you been in town?
Me?
Yeah.
Probably like half a month.
Okay. So you don't know too many people yet.
No.
You know the family that owns Tea's Cafe is cafe. It's Isaac, and he works it with his two kids, Darcel and Jamaica. And they've been pretty cordial. They don't mind that you're new in town. That's nice. That's pretty cool. And I want to flash back just to a brief moment because we haven't gotten a good chance to use this yet. I want to know what the conversation was like the first time you sat down at the cafe. What did you order? And then, because I want to culminate with you rolling your totally passing as a human skill.
Yeah, probably order a coral bowl.
A what?
With some
a quarter bowl?
a coral bowl, like the wreath,
a wreath.
No, coral.
Coral. Right, and like you know, like and we just like, and he's like circling it like 3 or 4 times. This was a question mark. He's like, yeah, kale. You want kale?
Kale.
He's like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, got it, right. And he like walks back and he puts like the ticket on the thing, and you can hear them like coral, like in the ocean, and they both turn and look at you. And do you want to say it or do you want me to say it?
I could say it.
Yeah, they're trying to figure out what you are, and they're both like,
"Oh, the huge manatee."
So yeah, go ahead and roll the the huge manatee. Oh, look at that! Look at that! So, what is the humanity thing that you do that totally convinces them that you're legit? Is it just like
he kind of just explains that he's on a very specific high-fat diet.
Oh, he's like, oh, you're from the city, aren't you?
Yes.
It's like, oh, okay.
Very large society.
And now every day you don't know where they're getting it from. There must be mail ordering it in, but they get it in, and it's no issue. So you've got your little vial of Dreamy, and then you've got your coral bowl with kale because they didn't understand it at first. Do you wanna do anything there, or do we fade out on that?
He will give an awkward wink, which is kind of just like this weird squeeze.
Okay. Yeah, you just wink at him?
Yep.
Okay. Do we fade out on that?
Yes.
Okay. So who wants to see whom as Irene Garvin is headed towards the farm? Does the Scarecrow see you first, or?
Oh, the Scarecrow definitely sees me first. I'm an old lady pushing a shopping cart, which very clearly, among other things, contains like a car's engine block.
Right, the lion's share of the weight of the car.
Yeah. It's definitely some cartoon physics here.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice though because like you're walking, right? This is what you do, right? So you can, you can actually get pretty far, you know what I mean, before you're off-roading, because you can, like, that's the
Yeah, I've got an umbrella because it's hot out.
A parasol or an umbrella?
Oh, I think it's probably just like a deck umbrella that I've just sort of stuck into the shopping cart.
Absolutely. Right? Okay. Now, have you've been out here before, right?
Would it make more sense for yes or no? Because I do live in the area.
Yeah, I was thinking the last time you were out here was a good way to use like a skill, right? Like, oh, what a nice old lady.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, sure, I've been out here before.
So you placed them initially where you wanted to be, either to get readings or to start collection, whatever. Yeah. I'm not going to pretend to understand what the orgon gas does.
My sensors. Oh no, these are actually to check fluctuations in the torsion field.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually completely unrelated. But no, yeah. So I've got a. I go out to where I've put my old sensor down, which is now just a piece of just slag. Like it's just like nothing.
Right. Okay.
And I start digging a post hole so I can put in the new sensor.
Yeah. Give me the flashback that you had with the farmer who owned this property. Like, how did you convince him to let you put like noxious chemicals and sparking machinery on his property? Because this was where'd he go? I swear I named the farm.
I told them they'd protect him from the government.
Oh god, that's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you knew exactly what was going on here. Actually, Squid, is it okay if it was Dorothy Rodriguez living here?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was Dorothy. Dorothy was the one keeping track of the farm.
I told her last time I saw her. I told her that the thing that I was putting here would protect her from the government, which is true, by the way, because the government's infested with reptoids.
Let's just go ahead and let's just mark that one down. We're gonna need that clip later. She. I'm gonna lean in on the stereotype. She's got one overall suspender still on, and the other one long since lost in the divorce. She looks you up and down once, and she spits because she's got dip in her mouth.
Oh yeah,
and she goes, "I don't need any help fighting the government. I don't want to see my husband coming around here anymore. Ex-husband."
He's, do you know? Probably, maybe, also a reptoid. You never know. So it pulls double
sleep
duty.
All day, doesn't do any work.
Sounds like in a nice warm spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, classic reptoid behavior.
Scaly sunburned skin.
Eats all of his meat very rare.
Bit of a drinking problem.
Only ever eats, always on the barbecue. Classic. It's like they don't even try to hide it.
She's like, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Yeah, okay.
Like all old women, we are part of. We share a bond of fellowship.
Okay, cool. I love it.
So that was the flashback, right? That was last time.
Yeah, that was last time.
All right, now it's this time. Yes.
Yeah. So, Squid, tell us a little how the farm has changed. Because when did things go different here, and what has changed in that ensuing time?
Probably hasn't been much more than a week. The farmer was having problems with the crows and the gardens and everything, and made a scarecrow, but couldn't make the scarecrow like her. Made the scarecrow like me, and then she refused to make me like her. So I made her a friend and made her better, like me.
Yeah, as a scarecrow who is also alive tends to do.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's completely normal. I also really like that because one of the things I have to help me move the plot along is a bunch of jokey birds flying around. So there's 6 or 7 very fat crows sitting on a fence like 80 feet away, and they're just giving you the eyes, Irene, as you're...
Ooh.
I mean, are you like dragging your cart along, or have you put it in a spot and you're moving?
I'm pushing it along.
You're pushing it along. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you care for this motley audience? Hawking you in a crow-like manner.
I look at them. I look at my shopping cart full of machinery. Look at them. Shopping cart full of machinery. I imagine there's several close-ups where it's like getting closer and closer, and on my eyes, and then it's getting closer and closer.
Right, and they're like doing that thing.
I reach into my thing, and there's a little bit of rustling, and then I just throw a bunch of firecrackers at them.
Oh shit! And they all go at once. And go ahead. I think perception's probably the closest to a listen skill. Right? Don't we have a perception, or is it just notice?
It looks like it's just notice. Is it me?
Notice.
Just notice. Yeah, okay, go ahead and roll a notice then.
That's a success on 35.
These are some hot dice. So the fireworks go off and the crows all scatter, and and there's like a puff of feathers because 2 or 3 of them hit each other, right? But for a brief moment, you swear you heard someone say, "Look for the chocolate elf!"
I didn't catch that. You cut out at the worst possible moment.
Well, these things happen.
A bunch of firecrackers did just go off. Yeah, Irene laughs a little bit.
Okay.
And resumes, I think probably shoveling at this point.
Sure. Okay, so Squid, you have very much seen Irene on what some may call your property.
New friend.
Right, and
Ooh.
you said you were hanging out on the front porch just in a rocking chair?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, Irene, I think with that good of a roll, you also see them. And what you have to assume is Dorothy Rodriguez.
Okay. So what exactly am I seeing, just so that I'm clear?
Humanoid shape and a rocking chair on a porch.
Oh, okay. That's probably
Dorothy.
Dorothy. So I wave. Hello. I'm just checking the thing. I was just
I like that ragdoll physics.
The hay-filled arms just
Yeah.
flapping back.
Okay. I'm changing the thing. Has your husband given you? This is yet another accent. Is your husband giving you? Is your husband giving you trouble? Has he been around? Okay, that's good.
It's working as intended.
That means it worked. Do you want? I'm gonna replace the. Okay.
Right. Squid, how tall is the scarecrow?
Probably about, say, 6 foot.
Okay.
Just tall enough for the old lady to reach on a step stool.
Let's just see how tall Dorothy Rodriguez is. So as it turns out, she is 5 foot 2.5. I think Tom. Insight notice. Yeah, probably.
I'll do insight.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
it's funnier if I fail these rolls. Alright, that's our hot streak to an end. That's a 49 out of 25.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, for a brief moment, you're like, where did 8 inches go? But you don't think about it for that long.
Gotcha.
Oh no, sorry, 10.
Alright.
9.5.
I'm gonna finish doing whatever nonsense I have to do out here, and then I'm gonna go up to the farmhouse, see if I can't get a glass of water, because I just walked all the way here, and it's a little rude for her to not offer me a glass of water, but we're not gonna hold it against her. She's going through a rough time.
True. All right, so Squid, what are you doing with this time, this ill-gotten time?
Studying the movements, kind of like looking at the angles, figuring out how I can make her better.
Just like a Da Vinci painting, right? Sketches, and I'll do some stuffing here, and
Head just kind of moves a bit too far to the side.
mm-hmm.
Stops just before the hat falls off.
Nice. That would be so good too, because you're definitely backlit, and we're like seeing a little more of like your profile and less of just like the humanoid shape. So you're looking more and more suspicious as Irene is moving around the edge of the farm, but is not noticing it at all.
Okay, spoopy.
Yeah.
Alright, so Irene's gonna finish doing what she come to do, and then she's gonna get up close to the porch. So at what point do I realize that something is perhaps, I guess I biffed that roll, so.
Yeah, I mean, you can't get up to the porch and then go, oh my god, right, like,
Yeah.
probably something around like the 50 feet line, as you're like, not only is that a scarecrow and not the person I expected, but it's a scarecrow that has now moved.
Well, is it moving, like, now that I'm looking at it, like, right now, or was it just, like, I thought it moved before?
I leave that to Squid.
It's rocking in the rocking chair.
Huh. Must be.
Out.
It's not suspicious.
Right.
Yet.
It's rocking. That's probably just the wind. I'm gonna keep heading to the porch. I'm gonna get up onto the porch, and I'm gonna get to the door, assuming nothing happens. And I'll
Hi, friend. New friend?
Are you, Oh, there's somebody behind that very creepy scarecrow?
I'm not creepy.
Oh, Squid, that's a roll.
What am I rolling?
That's one of your name skills. I forget what you called it.
Oh, will you be my friend?
Yeah, that's a name skill. Yeah, will you be my friend? 55%.
71.
Oh, that ain't 55. So.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
creepy.
Right.
Well, I suppose not. I'm gonna get my weird little lamppost dark array energy detector out. I'm gonna wave around and be like, I guess you're not a reptoid. You've got that going for you. Do you know where, I'm sorry, what was the name of the woman who owns this house?
Dorothy?
Dorothy Rodriguez.
Do you know where Dorothy is?
Dorothy?
Dorothy, yes.
The farmer?
Well, yes.
Ah, I made her better. She's my friend.
Oh, well, friend of Dorothy's. She's a friend of mine. I'm glad that she's hanging out with people. I worry about her after her husband left. This is lovely. Yes. Well, if you see her around, could you tell her that I was out in the, replacing her sensors?
She's downstairs. Do you want to say hi?
Oh. Oh, if she's inside, she must have heard me. She's probably tired. Needs a rest. I won't take up her time. Tell her that I said hi, though. It's nice to meet you. What's your name?
Scarecrow.
Oh, like the Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Ah, lovely, lovely.
Are we
Well-
friends?
Oh, well, I'd say so. Nice to meet you, Scarecrow.
Nice to meet you.
I'm Irene, by the way. I don't think I introduced myself. Alright, this is the accent. I like that.
I love that it changes every time.
No, it has an appeal. Well, Scarecrow, let me see if I've got anything for you. I'm rooting around in my shopping cart. And I hand you just, what is it? It's just a watermelon that's been cut in half, at the inside scooped out, and it's just replaced, and the just inside of it is just full of like washers and nuts. There you are.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Did you try to make this better?
What? I'm sorry, Tom didn't catch that.
Did you try to make this better?
Yes, it was a watermelon, and now it's a polywater reactor.
I'm sorry, now it's a what?
It was a watermelon, and now it's a polywater reactor.
Yeah, obviously.
It's for making polywater.
You know.
Everyone does.
As Polly does.
There you are.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, hold on to that. Water it 2 or 3 times a day, and keep it dry. Goodbye.
Will you be coming back soon?
Oh, well, yeah, the sensor burns out every 2 or 3 days. I have to replace it. I'm trying to find, I don't suppose there's any harm in telling you, I'm trying to find this hopscotch building. And I've got sensors all over the place, and I just seem to get it down there. This is the strangest thing. Yeah. Pleiadians watch over you. Have a good day. Yes. Alright, this is the voice. We get there.
Irene's voice just gets higher and higher the more she talks.
The more she's excited.
She's very happy.
So, Scarecrow, is it okay as Irene walks away? Do you start to follow? Do you go to the basement? Do you do some other fucking awful thing?
Kind of stand and watch. I tilt to the other side a little sadly.
But you have a polywater reactor now.
But I don't have another friend.
We were friends. We're friends. I'll be back.
But you left me.
Oh.
They'll never leave me
You're
again.
gonna come back.
I'm sorry. I see that you're sad. Sorry, and I say, are you doing anything today? Are you going anywhere?
No.
Would you like to go around with me? I have a couple other senses to replace. That's awful lonely. I'd appreciate having someone to talk to.
Okay.
All right. Plenty of room in the cart if you'd like to sit.
The hay creaks as the scarecrow stands up.
Oh, that's okay.
Shambles over.
I guess we don't need to. Okay. All right. Do you actually do you walk or do you sit in the cart?
She shambles, or it shambles over and sits in the cart.
Okay. Just don't touch that or that or that or that. Touch that. That's great. If you can touch that, wonderful. Don't touch that. That might light you on fire. Don't touch that either. All right.
It's the same three things.
Yeah, basically.
Just over and over, just in a circle.
Yeah.
You
Don't
sit
touch
down.
it. Don't touch
sit
it.
down. You sit down and you're like, oh, and there's a cat.
Another friend.
Yes.
God. Oh no.
I don't remember all of the names. They just sort of show up. Yeah. All right. That sounds good.
So technically speaking, now, Squid and Amanda have one scene left before I advance the timeline a little. So I think we want to flash over to Amanda and see what's going on there. And then Squid, I think, if possible, I want you to do a scene that's in the basement where the friend is, or if you want to start something with Irene, but then we'll cut, right? Like if you do like a monologue or something, you know what I mean? So we'll start with Amanda and then give you a moment to kind of figure out which you want to do.
So, after leaving Cecil at the post office, I rushed to school because, I'm the librarian. It's a very important role at school. I have to look over all these wonderful books to make sure these children don't ruin them.
Yeah, true. So what I'm hearing is you need to get somewhere very quickly.
Yes.
And you could be late.
I could be late.
Guess it's time for drive.
Yeah, well, drive's
Yeah.
not my least important skill, but not great.
Yeah.
Drive as in, damn it, 25.
That's so close.
It's so close.
Okay. So
It's like the Rocky montage starts to play as I'm holding my bag and hustling, but then I get 2 blocks over and I'm keeled over trying to not hyperventilate and just digging for my inhaler underneath all the crazy glue in my bag.
right. So now because I hemmed and hawed of if I wanted to do this or not. This is the first time someone's been really close, right? Every other failure's been really bad.
Yeah.
Right, everyone?
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think anything has been close. I think it's been 20, 30 off or something. Because something I was considering stealing from Call of Cthulhu is you can spend your luck, right? So if you want to take whatever your luck score is right now, if you want to deduct numerically to make this succeed, yeah.
So I would take 3 away, and it would be a 27 instead of a 30.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
Would everyone be cool with that?
I think
Good.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think in Call of Cthulhu, when you get to 0 luck, your character actually enters you become doomed. Is literally the rule state which you enter, where just horrible bullshit happens. You basically die.
Yeah. The thing that I like is the rules explicitly call out whenever there's something that's oh, the grenade got off, but we don't know who got hit. It's just who has the lowest luck. The rules explicitly fuck you over.
The best, I actually listened to a bunch of Call of Cthulhu games where they were all in a military setting, and the whole unit's luck score was the lowest person's luck.
Oh no!
Just hated this one guy, Albatross. It was really good.
Oh, that's good. Okay, yeah. So if everyone's cool with using luck that way, it gives us, we're building the system as we're playing it, as we're going. Okay, how do we rectify it being very, very close?
So I'll bet I'm very close. I feel like I might need luck later on, so I'm gonna not spend it now, and hopefully,
Okay.
I've worked at this school for 3 years. I've had perfect attendance for 3 years.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they'll give me a break on being a little late one day.
Okay, yeah.
Like I was following federal law.
Oh, that is a good argument. They'll note that in the HR report. So no, I like that. And it's not that the school is upset with you, it's that Jane and Sarah Bailey are standing inside the library because somebody let them in. You're not entirely sure who, and they're going to roll a notice because if I remember correctly, there's rooms and doors and secrets contained within the library.
Yeah. It's got a bunch of big bookcases, and then behind one of the bookcases is a place that I know of, but I don't know if anybody else really knows of it.
Okay. So they both have a luck of 20 as they are NPCs, but they're helping each other, so they are looking for a 30 or lower. They get a 37. So they are in the correct area, but they have not pulled the correct sequence of books, or they haven't turned the right knob, or whatever the go button is, right? But it's enough to be very unnerving to you when you come in the room.
Yeah. So I walk in and I'm a little hasty. I'm little frazzled as one is when they're supposed to be somewhere and they're not there at the appropriate time.
Mm-hmm.
I realize my door to the library is already unlocked as I go to try and unlock it. So I kind of burst in, throw my stuff at the desk and look around. I do my first sweep of the day to make sure nothing looks different after my sweep at the end of the day, and I see them in the area why are they in that area first thing in the morning?
Right. Do you say anything, or are you just listening to them?
So I see them. My first instinct is engage. So it's good morning. How are you two? You guys must be so wonderful to be in the library this early. You guys must really care about your academics.
Right, and they're in matching outfits, and one's on all fours, and the other one's standing on the back and tiptoes up, right? And the lever or whatever to the door is right there, and they just aren't quite tall enough as they pat right up on the top. And I think it's Jane Bailey who just goes, I want a book on fairy tales.
Oh, that's lovely. Fairy tales are in a different section. Let me show you where they are. And as I wait for the one to get off the floor and start to shuffle them along, I actually grab a couple of the books off the shelf because they are in the fairy tale section.
Mm-hmm.
And as we're going to a different section, I try to distract them as I put the books on a shelf and be here's our section, and it's just the 2 books.
Right, because they're I thought you knew the Dewey Decimal System. It's I did, I read it, it was right there. It's you can't even read, can you? That's why you make me read at night. And they're Dad says I'm the smart one, and then they're just completely fighting each other.
Yeah. Do I have to roll anything? I have sleight of hand.
Oh yeah, go for it. Please, anytime you want to willingly roll. Oh, look at that.
And mine is a 40, so it's I'm really good.
Yeah, you.
So yeah, I as I'm rustling them over, I just pull a small handful of books and kind of hold them to the side, and then I point them in a section, and I'm oh wait, it's actually over there. And then as they turn around, I just place the books on the shelf and be oh wait, my mistake. We are in the right section now.
As in, you're saying they were in the right section, or you've brought them to the correct section?
I brought them to the correct section, pointed in a different area, and then brought them right back to the correct section I just brought them to after I put the books back on the shelf. In a different area.
Gotcha.
I pretty much created a new fairy tale section in this lovely area.
Yeah. Somebody roll, a library-sided die and figure out what section we've created the fairy tale section in. Yeah, I mean, unless you have any other questions for them, like, there's no actual malice here. It just so happened that because you failed your roll, that was, like, what was at stake. So they take their book, and they seem quite happy about it.
Yeah, like, they're good children. They just tend to...
They'd be great children if they didn't come in the library.
Yeah, they'd be great children. Like, you're supposed to ask for help. Why are you climbing on top of each other? Like, that's my job. You are taking my job away from me.
Historical battles. Yeah, they're in the history section. Okay. So what do you do then now that they have finally left and you're alone with your books, finally?
So since it's so early, like, normally there wouldn't be children in here this early. I go back and I lock the door because the library technically doesn't open until later. I do, like, remembering that, like, somebody let them in. Like, that gnaws at me, and I'm gonna, like, talk to the
principal.
Yeah, that one. The principal later to, like, kind of inquire about it, because, like, I'm in charge of the library. But close the door, and I go to where the fairy tale section actually was to kind of, like, see, like, make sure everything is in its proper place, like, first and foremost. But then once I actually go back and take the books that I put in the different section and put them back because, like, that's not where they belong.
Right. That bothers you too much.
Yeah, it bothers me a lot. But I put the books back where they belong, and then at that point, like, I usually take this time in the morning to spend some time in the well. So it's not like a lever, and it's not like a button, and it's not like a bunch of fancy books, but it's more like you have to strong arm the bookcase to the side a little bit, and then kind of like shimmy behind the bookcase to get to the opening. It's very manual.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, behind the bookcase is the corridor, which leads to the staircase, which leads to the basement. There's just, like, dark, empty space. And, like, you can't really tell how big it is. You can't really tell how big it is. But, like, in the middle, there's, like, this both shimmery and not shimmery at the same time, like puddle, almost, of, like, what traditionally liquid might be. Like, as I do every morning, I walk over and, like kneel on the ground and then just shove my face through the puddle.
Damn. Is that the end of the scene?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Do you hold your breath first, or?
Well, it's like the space was like I've never had to breathe in space.
Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Just bloop. Right. Yeah. And we fade. So Squid, what would you prefer? Flashback scene or scene with Irene, but a bit of a one-sided scene?
We could do a flashback scene.
Okay. Well, so when I say that, we can either do something in or around the house with you, or if you want to narrate a little about what's going on with your friend in the basement. So yeah, take us there. Which would you prefer?
A little bit of what the friend is doing downstairs.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so when we had last left them, because I think what would be interesting is they're awake, they're conscious, they're moving around in at least some capacity. We saw them at the glass blocks, kind of, like freedom. So this time we see the same conversation you had previously, except from their perspective. And, do you, like, you didn't have a name because you started as a scarecrow, right? Or were you a person first?
No, I started as a scarecrow.
Okay, so does Dorothy remember her name? Or is it just a distant memory?
Might be like right there at the tip of the tongue, but not quite. Knows that there's something there. Might have been.
Okay, so it's just pacing back and forth around the room as it hears, Dorothy. Is Dorothy here? As the husband stopped by, right? And it's like thinking and looking and staring at the glass in the window and everything. And what's like the security measures down here? Like, is this just an old farmhouse basement, with the Bilko doors on one side and a rickety old stairwell on the other?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, just the doors are locked. What does a scarecrow know about security?
Yeah, I mean that's fair, right?
Whatever there.
And then are there animals around? Is there a scarecrow dog upstairs or?
Yeah, the dog that was left behind in the divorce when Dorothy kicked out her husband.
That was the first one to go.
Little old thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. So we see the Dorothy scarecrow like scuttle up the stairs like on all four, not quite used to its the hay body and all of the joints just kind of flimsy and folding, right? And it just like hits the reinforced steel door and just like pff, right, hay everywhere. And then is like fumbling at the lock, trying to do it. And then the scarecrow dog, like, what does a scarecrow dog growling sound like?
Probably like the whistling of wind through trees with the dried leaves in autumn.
Okay, yeah. So it's like that crunchy sort of. Okay, yeah. And the was it Dorothy? Is that what I said the name was?
Yeah.
The Dorothy scarecrow just stops and looks and is like desperately looking for another way out. So, do me a favor and describe a little of the room. Like, you don't have to go into gory details or anything, but like, where does the improvements take place? Is it on a table? Is it hung up on a meat hook?
Probably up on a post, like the scarecrows made, the supporting posts in the basement and everything. Not much else in the room. It's up on the side. It's like the root cellar, so there's got like crates of potatoes and carrots and whatever on the side. And
yeah, no, I like that. Okay, so that's it, right? Like, and I think the way the scene would be shot is like sepia tone, very narrow vision, very like one thing to the next thing to the next thing, like super choppy, fast cutaways. And it can't look at the post very long, right? It looks at the post where everything happened, and it looks away, and it's never quite in focus. And like, we're trying to keep this PG, so it's like it's probably bloody, but it's mostly blurred, so you can't quite tell. We're not going to really address that. And then, like you said, like the canning in the root cellar, all of the glass jars and everything, and just like in this like absolute splay of madness, runs. And then, right, throws 2 shelves worth of, canned goods. And then, let's flash back to Irene and the Scarecrow doing a notice.
Okay.
Just to see if it was odd.
Is this, so where are we when this is happening?
This was right when you were like, you would have walked away and then been like, oh, they're sad. I guess I should,
Yeah. All right, biffed that one.
Okay. So yeah, you don't hear anything. You must have been going over a particularly loud rock, right? And everything jumbled. Okay.
All right.
Is there anything else you want to do with that scene, Squid?
I just wanted to note that while the scarecrow's mouth is stitched, it's open enough where it can talk and smile.
Mm.
This little hay-filled smile. But Dorothy's right now is stitched completely shut.
Poor Dorothy. Will not
Right.
be able to talk very well. What'd you say?
Just so she realizes how much better I made her.
Sure. Let's go with that. Okay. We have completed 3 scenes for everyone. Yeah, I'm learning a lot about Squid tonight. Which means I get to move a couple of my things along. So the very first is we see coming out of their hotel room at the Bay House Cottages. Wrong one. Yes, the Bay House Cottages, which is also where Cecil is living. We see 2 finely dressed and modern-looking gentlemen with the little flag pin on their lapels, right? And also their fedoras as well. And they turn and lock their doors behind them. And they each nod once and kind of head up towards the cafe. Right, so we see them kind of just, I guess they'd probably drive. They drive and park. And we're seeing this kind of clipped and shot really quickly and everything. This is kind of what they were doing for their 3 scenes. And they do that thing where they pay and somebody gets like a mimosa or something in the morning, and Isaac is like, well, I'm gonna have to see some ID, and they like cover the bottom part of their wallet. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that. So they're like obscuring some part, but like the camera coming in at an angle can see it, and it says it says Lee M. Cardholder, and then we can kind of just make out, covered by their fingers but not covered all the way, it says FBI.
The government.
That's right. That's right.
They're here to steal my work, no doubt.
My devices.
We see coming out of whatever cul-de-sac. It's not on stream. Whatever cul-de-sac is right here, right? First 1 duck, and then 2 more ducks, and then about 18 ducks, and then hundreds of ducks. So several hundred ducks, mostly mallards, and then whatever the fluffy little yellow ones are. Just in like 2 to maybe 3 rows, right? Very neat, very orderly. But hundreds of ducks just marching.
If you were to use an adjective,
yes,
to describe these ducks, Dave, what adjective might you use, hypothetically speaking, of course?
This isn't the part where I have to Google adjective. Don't judge me. Like, do you mean in the sense of orderly, or do you mean in the sense of...
No. Just like if you were to pick a word at random to describe these marching ducks.
Like green?
No, never mind. I'm sorry. I thought... Alright, never mind.
Green.
Green's a good one. Are they green?
I'm wondering which one you're looking for.
No. Never mind. We can talk about it after the
You thinking
stream.
intelligent?
Or menacing? Or huggable?
Would we describe this as perhaps a march of sinister ducks?
I mean, there is a unique order to these ducks that are in, for those of us that are witnessing it. Yeah, they've got their ducks in the row. Get out, Tristan. Yeah, they're actually because like they're causing a traffic jam, right? There's people trying to go to work. There's people that trying to enjoy their time off and like the wonderful morning and everything. And then somebody's looking at it and is like, are they spelling something out in Morse code? And we just cut away from that. That's gone now. And then I had one more. Where the heck was my third? I'm just kidding, Tristan. You can stay. Good to see you. How are you? Oh, duh. Oh, jeez. How could I have possibly? Yeah. Okay. Sorry. In the third one, down deep within the Tavern Green, the subterranean level that is cleverly disguised as the auxiliary pool on the elevator, a triangular-looking orange cat laughs maniacally as it's pulling levers and twisting knobs and punching buttons in, right? And what color is Orgon gas?
Orgon energy?
Yeah, Orgon energy.
For the purposes of the cartoon, I'm going to say that it's purple.
Okay, so, yeah, two giant laser ray cannons, right, with electricity arcing between them, and then purple tubes of energy kind of stored all over the room, right? And we need to decide what poor and unfortunate townsfolk have been abducted. So select 2 members of your party. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 25. So 2 people need to roll a d25, and I wish I had just numbered that.
I'll roll one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of people.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Denuded.
Oh, is somebody else needs to roll a 25, right?
Yeah, we need one more. If it's a 22, it's a reroll. Oh my god. Okay. So there's 25 NPCs in town. Well, technically there's 26, but one of them had already been infiltrated. So we see. Trigger warning, everyone. We're this isn't great for Sarah and Jane Bailey. As Amanda, apparently the kids you saw were not in fact real kids. Because we see here, this is the flashback. We see here Dr. Katz, he hits the lever and they get zapped with the purple energy, the Orgon energy, and they, twist and change and flash, and through the powers of animation we see 2 anthropomorphic chameleons standing up, right? And they're just looking around, and then Katz says something, and we don't understand it because he's like laughing maniacally, and then one of them just like licks their eye with their tongue. And then they sort of like fold down into themselves and then just immediately change color and look like 2 normal kids. And he's like, go find the whales. And they just march out.
I'm freaking out.
Oh my god.
I'm freaking out. They're here for our Orgon energy.
They're here for our Orgon energy. Okay. That was my 3 scenes.
My research.
Yeah, we've got. I would love to hit an extra 10-15 minutes tease out. It's a good ending, but it's a little early. I don't know. What's everyone thinking?
We could all play through one of our 3 scenes.
I think we can do that.
If people are cool with that.
Okay, yeah, I like that. It's a real high note, but it's a shame to end early. So let's push that envelope just a tiny bit more. Oh, there's definitely there's gonna be multiple sessions. It's just you strike while the iron's hot, man.
We're committed.
Okay.
We're not gonna just sleep and let the Reptoid menace go unanswered.
Truly.
Gotta stop cats.
Do we wanna work on, in this last 10 minutes, maybe trying to bring us, together?
Fuck that. Okay, we can do that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna try and do if I got another scene.
Doing some stuff in the basement.
Okay.
Where would we all meander to?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think that you're typically the way this goes is one group of 2, one group of 3 until the shit has hit the fan. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But the game rewards you when you have people who can help you with skills. So, Riley, I think you've been the longest without this scene. So where do we want to cut into you?
I feel like Cecil kind of does his like daily routines of kind of like walking about town and stopping the local folk and kind of asking them a bunch of questions about if they've seen anything strange or just weird creatures in the wooded areas, stuff like that. It's kind of like poking and prodding.
No, I like that. So Albert Pesh is the person you're talking to right now, and Albert Pesh, you know, he stops himself as he's halfway through this story, and he's like, "What'd you say your name was?"
My name is Cecil, sir.
And like, is there a smiley face painted on this tank, or are we just supposed to pretend that you're human?
No, there's no like smiley face or anything. It's just like he's got like a panda face, so it kind of just looks like he's got like a little face on him, like a skeleton panda face.
Right, and he's just like
really small face.
Right, and he's
really
he's fogging up your glass, right? Go ahead and roll your huge manatee.
Roll my huge manatee. Those things, you gotta be strong to roll them.
Alright, so we did rule that luck can be spent. Or, if you want to see what happens when someone figures out what you are.
Let's figure it out.
Okay, you wanna he sees through?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's just like,
the cloud!
what the? Would you have an accident? You gotta breathe underwater now?
I'm a highly advanced species.
You're not human?
More or less, I come from a society.
Right, and he like pinches your arm, which is a rock.
It's very hard. There's like, it's not fleshy.
Right, he's like, what do you? We don't know each other that well, but what do you got under there?
It's highly advanced.
He's like, I have seen everything. You know old Myra Round?
Myra Round.
Yeah, she's been running the rail yard for years now. Man, she swore she had a talking horse, but you're a walking fish.
Excuse me, I'm not a fish. I am a sea squirt. There's a difference.
Shoot, you're taller than I am. What are you talking about, squirt?
Where I come from, I am of high standing. I am a great investigator.
It's like, okay. Now that's interesting. He's like, if I whisper, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Can you hear me, little fish guy?
Once again, I'm not a fish, but yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So, all right, this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna keep your secret, little one, and you're gonna help me out, okay? I've been watching the garden gnomes for a long time now.
Okay, good garden gnomes, yeah.
You know, you can't buy one anywhere. When's the last time you bought a garden gnome? When's the last time you saw a garden gnome for sale? Huh? Think about it.
We don't have them where we're at.
Exactly.
Yes.
You can't go buy one, but everybody's got one. Where did they come from? Huh? They're just coming up out of the ground. They're alive. They're alive like you are. And they're up to something. They're doing something. And I don't think it's very good. And I want you to help me figure it out. Are you gonna help me out? A little guy? Little fish guy?
Once again, I'm not a fish, but yes.
Little seat. I need your help.
Okay.
Okay.
What exactly do they do?
I don't know.
I don't know. Do they steal mail?
Right, and he looks over his shoulder, and Mike, do you want to be there being weird?
Mike, can't hear you.
Son of a bitch, I muted myself inside my team. Yeah, I can be there being weird. Always.
Yeah, okay, so go ahead and roll strange.
I don't know why I look before I roll the D100. I know what it is. It's not like I'm looking for a button to click. Son of a...
You can spend 3.
To be strange right now.
I mean, I guess you're strange either way, but...
Yeah, what is this? What's this 3 points even get me?
So in my head, this is either he sees you, but it's just like, ah, crap. Somebody was listening to me, and he sees you, and, you know, like, you're fixing your hat or something, and he's scared and he runs away.
I'm okay with him just seeing me and being like, oh, person, that.
Okay. Yeah. Right, so he just sees you and he looks, and he's like, good, they're not listening to us. Okay. So this is what I need you to do. Tonight, you writing this down? Can you write? Do you have paper?
I have a notepad right in my hand.
Right, and he's like physically touching you. You know what I mean? He's like, all right,
he's physically touching the body that I use, but yes.
Yeah. All right, write that down. 7 p.m. tonight, Westway Diner. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them you want a table for 2. But then go in the back. Go in the kitchen. Ask for ale fresh. Okay.
Go to kitchen.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll be there.
All right. This sounds like a lead.
Do you know that weird one over there?
Yeah, the salesman. He don't trust anything he sells yet.
Huh. Well, if he's your friend, you can bring him too, but still tell him it's a table for 2, and then don't sit down. Just go to the kitchen.
Sounds good.
Okay. Yeah, and he just scuttles off.
You there, dreamy salesman.
Oh, hello.
Oh, we meet again. You happen to be making the rounds at the town as well?
We do indeed. I regret to say sales have not been as high as I had wished they would be here, but nevertheless, we make do. How are you, friend? Have you tried my product yet?
No, I have not. I haven't had a chance to sit down. I've been doing a lot of investigative work. Strange things going on in this town.
Oh? Like what?
Mail going missing.
Oh.
Things sprouting up from the ground.
Oh.
Pretty sure I've seen a few lizards here and there.
Oh my. Yes, well, this all sounds very intriguing, but why are you telling me?
Well, you just seem like a character who has a knack for these kind of things. Just my investigative eye.
Ah, an investigator. Yes, you do have a keen eye. Are you attempting to solve these great mysteries?
I am indeed. I must bring them to light. I need to take this information back to this great society that I live at.
Well, that certainly sounds more interesting than what I appear to be up to right now, and I'm sure it will put me in more contact with potential customers.
I'm sure doing great deeds and helping this town out will be absolutely better than illegally soliciting your wares.
Oh, laws are smoky and vague things in the world of sales, but I understand your meaning. And a little publicity never hurt a salesman. I think I will join you, friend.
Oh, well, thank you.
He just smiles, is like, sharky grin, which might bring up bad memories for you as a sea creature. But
The sharks are all football players.
I like that he adds that with no context. So he sees your smile. He's like, hey, sharks are all football players.
yeah, and like I do like the salesman's laugh, like no fucking clue what he's talking about. But like yes, of course.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to do anything in particular, Mike? Do you want to, run into an NPC or see anyone? Because you kind of got added into that pretty late.
Yeah, are there any kids walking around?
I mean, we now have 2 reptoids pretending to be kids.
Ooh, I can try to sell to them.
Yeah, apparently they're skipping school to go to the bowling alley for some reason.
Ooh. Hello.
Ian's the hero today, man. He's clipping everything. I love it.
Yeah, I think if there are people on the street, I would approach them.
Yeah, they're just walking from the. Hey kids, wanna buy some potions? Yeah, they're. Where's my ruler? There it is. Yeah, they're going from the school down to the post office, and you guys were coming from the post office going wherever, so that works perfectly. Yeah, you want some corruption candy? Yeah, so they're coming right down the main drag, just walking each other, and they're just holding a book on fairy tales, big red thick book, an old faded but gilded script, says fairy tales. So they seem right up your alley.
Yeah, I think he's like, oh, you seem like 2 children with quite the imagination.
Right, and they just look up at you. And what's your either notice or insight?
Alright, you just want me to roll it?
Yeah, just pick one.
Insight. Ooh.
Okay. Yeah, because when the camera looks at it, it sees 2 independent eyes, right?
Sure.
But
I don't.
Or you don't care because you're you, and that's not weird.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm a Medusa creature, so we're good.
So that is not alarming. Just a pile
I think
of...
he just doesn't... He's like, I'll sell an iguana. Fuck it, I'm not racist.
A fish pretending to be a man, a Medusa, and 2 chameleons pretending to be little kids all run into each other on a street. Okay, yep, good,
yeah.
Cool.
So he pops open his briefcase and he's like, are you children interested in something that will help turn those fairy tales, and he taps on the book, into reality? Right,
and they're holding the book, and then each one of their eyes turns and looks at the other, and the other one stays focused on you. And they're like,
that's fine.
Should we ask him? Yes, he seems to be aware. Excuse me, sir. And this is exactly how they sound. I don't have to put anything on?
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Have you seen any whales?
I have not. But if you are looking for whales, I may have something that can help you.
Right. And then, their eyes are looking at each other, and everyone's looking at you now. It's like, go on.
So he rifles through his, potion thing, and he pulls out 2 little, they look like Capri Sun packets.
Oh, perfect.
But they say dreamy in the same crappy 90s font, and they got the little straws.
Yeah.
And he's like, 1 sip of this, and the next time you dream of whales, they'll be right at your doorstep.
So is this a different batch, or is this the same batch?
I don't know what you have planned, but I think it's more interesting if they're all part of the same batch, because then, if it does infect the town, the same thing's happening.
Okay.
But if you fucked up my batch, I'll roll a new one.
I mean, your batch does something. I just don't know that it does exactly what you said.
Yeah. I mean, his only goal here is to cause chaos, so as long as it does something.
Okay. Yeah. Right. They both let go of the book at the same time and reach up and grab for their juice box. They're like, "What do you want for this, trader?" But they mean trader like goods.
Yeah. He smiles and he says, "Well, normally I would ask quite the price, but I'm so confident in my wares. All I ask is that you tell all your friends where you purchased this fine item." And he grins his grin.
Right, and they're like, "We accept this trade." And then the scene will end with them like, popping it right now and just
Yeah.
finally.
Do they like drink it abnormally fast, or is it like?
Oh yeah. They suck it down in a second. Yeah, just gone.
And then he starts laughing like all friendly like, but then as he laughs more, it becomes like more and more twisted, and then at the end he's like, oh, it's like a big shadow. And,
Okay.
like snakes, like
Right. Roll your strange.
fuck. Right, I just have to roll. I don't have to look for a button. I always open my damn character.
I know. Maybe someday. You hear that, Roll20? If you wanna get in on this totally not copyright infringing game I've designed.
Yeah. Merge the Mowardly Mog.
Yeah. So right, like you said, this would be like shot, for like crane shot, right? Slowly kind of zooming out as you're like, right? And snakes are leaping out of your hair. The sun's super low in the sky, creating this wicked deep shadow. This, burnt gold and red. Everything's aflame, and then Cecil's just standing next to you. Is that alarming at all, or is this cool? Riley?
Oh, for me?
Yeah, I mean, you're right there with him.
Oh, that was incredibly alarming. But I suspect that he's basically in on this whole conspiracy thing going on.
Mm.
So, if I have him by my side, maybe I can figure this all out.
Yeah, I think there's like, right, so like he laughs, and you think the scene ends, and then it just zooms back in, and he like puts his hat back on. He's like, "Well then, shall we carry on?"
Yeah, right, and then it ends.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay. Cool. So yeah, we've got Delilah tripping through space and time, and also whales, and then Irene and Squid, or Irene and Scarecrow bumping along.
I'm basically, I'm going to be wandering around town until I am consumed snowball-like by the plot.
Which will happen.
Or until I'm attacked by reptoids.
Which could also happen.
Could also happen.
You can't say it won't. So who wants next?
Go next.
Okay.
So as mentioned before, we last ended with Dahlia shoving her face into this random puddle in the basement of a library. So what happens is like I plunge my face through the puddle, and then on the other side of this puddle, I'm like I've got this like bubble thing around my. It's like
bubble hex.
Yeah, there's like a bubble around my face, and like it's like I'm suddenly like in the middle of nowhere, but like space edition. Like
yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like wide open space all around me. But it pops like in like what would be the equivalent of like a block away. Sees big ol' like floaty whale dudes just kind of like swimming along and just doing space whale stuff together. And I check in with them every day, and I periscope with them quite often, and I'm constantly looking for updates in new missions, and they're really gracious in my help. They're also really annoyed by me. It's like, of course it had to be this person who stumbled upon our well. So like my space, my bubble, like it just kind of populates in their area. It's like it's like a crazy version of the periscope, but like all space whale technology and not like janky periscope technology.
Mm-hmm.
And like I pop through my head through the bubble, and I'm like, "Good morning."
Right, and like they haven't had their equivalent of space whale coffee yet, so they're like, she always gets here so early. But they translate to, "Hello, Dahlia."
Hi, checking in first thing in the morning, like I like to do for you guys to see if you need any extra help today. Like I haven't had a mission in a while, and it's like I know you guys are really homesick.
We would love to penetrate the defenses of your dimension, make yours and every other planet slaves to our desires. But it translates to, yeah, I don't know. It's been pretty dry on our end too.
Oh, like, well, how you guys doing? Like, they're clearly the only like people I conversate with on a regular basis. Like, they're the equivalent to what would be a friend.
Mm-hmm. Right. And then, they're like, by the 7 scorch eons will she ever leave? But the translation is like, yeah, I actually, I think Ted had something he needed you to do.
And then I assume Ted's the other way, so I looked at Ted.
Right.
Ted probably isn't too happy that, Dave just threw him under the bus like that.
Do you think I am such an egotistical world creator that I would stuff my own name into things?
Well, no, I did.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thanks. I'll give you that 20 I owe you later. Yeah, so tell me a little bit about, like, what are the missions they have had you do? Like, what were they having you do before?
So, like, with their GPS coordinators broken, like, when they got kicked out of the galaxy forever ago, they got, like, they went off for a while, started to do their own thing, but then they got really, like, mad. Because it's, like, they wanted to eat Earth. Like, Dahlia doesn't know this, but it's, like, they were looking forward to eating Earth. Like, it's been brewing as an ecosystem for a really long time, and it was, like getting to the right point of ripeness, and it would have been really good. But the Starbringers, like, they cultivated the planet and the whole galaxy that it, like, the Milky Whale area that they happen to be in. So, like, they didn't want their hard work kind of neglected. So what the space whales have been doing, like, they've been trying to, like, figure out how to get back to the star system so that they could, like, finally eat it. So they have me do, like, random things, like create little like little tests to, like, see if there's ways that they can use to navigate home. Like, one of the suggestions that Dahlia had was, like, well, maybe you could, like, use those walkie-talkies, and it's like maybe you could bounce off the frequencies with, like, your whale voice or something. So kind of threw one of those through the puddle one time, and then just, like, other random stuff like that, like little trinkets.
Okay. No, I like that. Yeah, so yeah, Dave tells Ted, Ted throws Dave under the bus there. No, Dave throws Ted under
Dave throws Ted under the bus.
Yeah, right. He's just like, and this time the translation, comes through clear, because they're like, eons ago, 50 years, there was, I believe you'd call it, a blimp. Lost, swallowed by our dimension. We believe it to be returning. There is a device on that blimp. It will land sometime in nowhere soon. Tonight. Be on the lookout for it. And if Cody or Charles try and stop you, well, send them our way.
And you guys sure talk about Cody and Charles a whole lot, but it's like I've never even met them before.
Right, like, they will be coming your way soon. Get us out of here, Dahlia, and then we can be friends and swim in the ocean.
So excited! Like, you guys would love it down here. They're like not where I live. It's pretty like it's like the dirt is like sand, I guess. But like, there's places with water. Whales like water.
Yes, well, better hurry up now and go find Charles and Cody and the blimp.
And like Dahlia just keeps chattering on for a little bit longer. Like I'm gonna make sure I get the blimp and like what do you want me to do when I like after like 5 minutes of like talking herself in a circle.
Right, she's like, humpback whales and blue whales and killer whales.
Like all these different kind of whales, like whale shark. Like it's like two things in one. And then at the end of it, I'm like, what do you want me to do with this device?
Toss it into the well. Send it to us. We need it.
Okay, I could do that.
Yes, and then we will be free to reclaim your planet and others, free to swim the stars.
That sounds exciting. I'm so happy for you guys. But do you guys want to, like, I got a little bit more time before the library opens if you guys want to, like, chat.
As I say, I don't know that they can force you out of this dimension, can they?
No, but, like, if they stop talking to me, I'll leave.
Okay,
like,
yeah.
I asked them if they wanted to talk more, so if they don't want to.
Right, and they're like, yes, better hurry along. And then they both swim away.
Yeah. Like, okay, goodbye. And then I just, like, plop out of the puddle.
Do you make, like, a big gasping breath, or is it fine?
It's, like, it's fine. So, like, whatever it is, it doesn't, like, more than anything, you feel a little bit, like, you know, like, when it's really hot out, but also really muggy, and it's, like, you feel kind of sticky on your skin.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's what it does to, like, my face and stuff.
Okay.
That was in the puddle.
Nice. And then we fade out on that.
Yeah.
All right. Scarecrow and also Irene Garvin.
All right. Well, so where was the last? I'm trying to out of game. I'm trying to meet up with the rest of the party. So like, where is everybody at right now?
We've got two maneuvering down the main drag, basically about to hit the school or at the school, although they have no reason to be at the school. One in the school. And then the two of you were leaving from the farm. I'm just not sure where you went after that. You pretty much, there's no reason you wouldn't have gone this way, right?
Right, that was the way that we went originally.
Right, so you're probably either going here now or here now. Depends.
Yeah, we're trying to get a good... I'd say we're going down this way.
Right, okay.
All right, down this main drag. And I think... So I'm going to check some of the... So I've got some sensors in the ground, and I'm doing my regular scan. I'm trying to find the hopscotch building.
And I rolled ahead of time, so I know where it is right now.
Oh, perfect. What would I roll to see if I'm getting any sort of a reading?
Boy, if only you had some devices skill that was in charge of how your devices worked.
No, that was for craft devices, sir.
Okay. I don't know. Probably computers is not a bad one.
Oof. Okay.
Right? What else you got?
I got occult.
Oh, okay. And now, earlier when I asked you, she missed it, you insulted me and told me she was technologically based.
Listen, if I had been the one who was assigning my skills, I would not have made occult to 45.
Listen, if you had been the one who had done your skills, you would have turned them in.
That's fair. You got me.
That's fine.
All right, we'll
That's
roll
fine.
computers.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I did a best guess. I thought she was weird and mystical. She is not.
That's fine. All right, we'll roll.
Here's
we'll
the
roll
other thing.
Yeah.
The Scarecrow is probably terrible with computers, but she does have a stat for it.
True.
And you are together.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to hand it, you're like, hold this lever, and
You're light and don't have any bones. Could you
weirdest bitch ever.
Could you take this prod here and stand on the top of the roof of that building there for better reception?
Sure, friend.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you. Just get it way up there.
Fuck. The Scarecrow's boneless.
Really, really high up there. You got it? Okay, now just don't move. Alright, I'm gonna roll computers.
So hold on, Squid, you're gonna have to either roll athletics or acrobatics if you're actually going up on top of a building.
How windy out is it today?
Probably acrobatic is higher.
I specifically asked, and they don't have any bones to break, so they're fine.
I'm not saying it'll hurt her. Did you get that?
I think I got it, yeah. My acrobats is 40.
Nice. Okay, yeah. Okay. And then what's your computer score?
30.
And Squid, what's yours?
Mine?
Yeah.
Oh, 30.
Jesus, wow.
Wow.
Got 30. All right, so you get plus 15, Tom.
Alrighty. So 45. Hey, look at that.
Did it go?
Yeah.
Has
I got a 10.
Oh shit! There it is. Look at that.
It just lagged for a
Nice.
second.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah. So the sensors are going to tell you where the hopscotch building is and how long it will stay.
Yeah.
But tell me, in what way? How? Right? Like, what does it display for you?
It doesn't display anything. It's a radio. And it just screeches at me in a very particular. I'm just like horrible like modem dialing up noises, and I go yes. Hold on, yes.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't have a sandwich. I have been to Olive Garden. I thought it was overpriced. Well, I'll take you something. We'll go somewhere nice next time. Okay, yes. All right. Thank you. All right, and then it tells me.
Right, but somehow out of that, you're like, okay, so the hopscotch building.
Yeah.
No, this is really exciting because I also have rules for the radios, and you have a secret about the radio. Would you like to tell people about your secret, or do you want to just be cryptic?
Oh no, I'll tell people. I know that the local number stations have some power,
Mm-hmm.
and I should give them a try. So I guess what's happened here is that I've tuned into that a little bit.
It's possible. So
Possibly.
yeah. Go ahead and roll a D4. There are 4 radio stations that get good reception here. Okay, cool. Nope, you got the one you wanted. You did not get the number station. Now, if you would like to, after having got what you wanted, also fiddle around and find a number station, you can do that.
Maybe we could do some of that while we're on the way. I think we're good up there. You can come down now. Careful, don't fall.
Yeah.
Thank you all. Oh,
You just
landed.
yeah, you drop.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Just
it doesn't
put her
hurt,
back
so...
Oh.
Interestingly enough, let's see, what did I roll? Let me double check before I misspeak. Yep, that's what I thought. Yeah, so the Hopscotch building is currently hiding out next to the Westway Diner. Which was funny, because we had already hinted at the Westway Diner before.
Oh, perfect.
It will be there until the end of the next scene, which is defined as every character's 3 actions. So everyone has done 1 more now, right? So everyone gets 2 more actions before the Hopscotch building will move again.
All right. Well,
Which means there's almost no way you can't reach there.
yeah. All right. Unless Scarecrow has something up there, really anywhere. I'm gonna say, do you know? I think it's that way. Do you care to join me on a little excursion? keep an old woman company. I don't know how this voice ended up being the pet shop woman from that one episode of Cowboy Bebop, but it did.
Okay.
Not what I expected, but it did.
Yeah, I mean, it had to be something, so.
Had to be something.
Had to be something. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there anything else we want to see? Or shall I just telegraph some things as a suitable cliffhanger to end the night?
I think I mean, we don't have to do a scene for it, but I think it makes sense if all four of us meet up, and if we're going to the diner, right? And he's going next to the diner.
If I'm going like boop boop, and they're going boop, like it seems honestly very plausible that we'd meet at this intersection here.
Yeah, so maybe we can just we don't have to scene it or anything, but that's where we'll all meet up.
Yeah, no, I actually think I like that as a scene. We don't have to go through the whole thing. But if you know, that'll spell out everybody, right? That's pretty solid.
Except Amanda's character.
Well, I mean, depending on like how long it's taken you guys, like
It's lunch.
Yeah.
It's lunch. Are you gonna eat cafeteria food? Fuck that. Okay. No, I like that a lot.
Westway Diner's got the best pancakes, and you know what's is brunch.
So we want to end on the scene or pick up next session on that scene.
I think describing everyone arriving at the same place and maybe like a couple quick like quips. You know what I mean? Not like full conversations necessarily. I think that'll be a good cliffhanger. Like describing who's doing what and where.
I imagine my character arrives after you guys are already there because you guys are a lot closer than I am.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm seeing the scarecrow back in the wheelbarrow or the push cart there, just kind of like chilling.
Yeah.
Not really moving much when the others, until the others show up.
I like it because you're like, I imagine you're sitting there kind of like with your feet hanging over the edge and there's like an umbrella over you. It's kind of fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're pushing a mess of, you know, junk and also a scarecrow down a street. And you're talking to it, but everyone thinks you're talking to yourself. Is there anything of substance, or is it the same sort of explanations that you've been giving everything?
Oh, explanations for what?
Like, are you just talking about your sensors and the dials and things, or are you?
I don't always talk about that stuff. I also talk about it's like, oh well, you know, me and my husband Harold, we met in the war. You see, I was a computer. I don't understand what I'm saying. That was a word for people who would do lots of math for the firing tables in the war. He was an officer in the motor pool, and that's how we met. I have a degree from Georgetown.
It sounds fake. Seems like absolute horseshit. Okay. All right.
Can that just be the whole episode?
What?
Tom goes.
Like I said, we're gonna do just chatting. That's just Tom, and it's just me occasionally poking Tom with a stick to make him keep talking. Right?
Want me to dance for you?
Yeah. God. And then so give me the brief little description of Cecil and Bevel going down the street and also seeing those two.
I think as they were walking down the street, Cecil was kind of describing like what we need to do. It's like, okay, it's 7 p.m. We need to order a table for 2, but we don't sit down and we go into the kitchen instead.
The kitchen, you say?
The kitchen.
Sounds
I don't like that.
delicious. And you see his like wheels turning. What shall we do until then?
I mean, it's about that time for lunch. I could go for a nice coral bowl.
Lunch sounds fantastic.
It's just all
There are always plenty of patrons at a cafe.
Yes, usually there are.
Lead the way, friend.
I mean, of course, I've been here for a good half a month. I know my way around decently.
And I imagine if we're just like shooting the shit, like the two corners, right? Like they walk around one corner, we walk around the other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and everybody looks extremely odd and out of place for just a moment. I was looking it up. Oh, sorry.
Is that a scarecrow in a
Oh my!
Head tilts back a little bit. More friends.
Oh yes, I rather think this is a friendly-looking bunch. I think does all right, Dahlia. Are you in this? Are you in this cohort?
I am not.
Let's bring her in. She could be walking from the third direction.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to be like rushing out, right? Like rushing out of school, like, oh, I've only got 30 minutes before, you know.
Well,
I mean, that makes sense if I'm trying to be punctual. I'm not like with the group, but like I'm in the general area.
yeah, I would bring it up because I wouldn't know Beevil or Cecil, but I would know. There's a possibility I could know Dahlia.
You would know Dahlia. I've lived here for a little over 3 years. And I mean,
I've lived here for 45 years.
Yeah, so it's like we know each other. Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Wait, I know what the scene is. So it's that thing where like Cecil and Beevil come around the corner, down the same street you're going, and then I happen to also be going down that street, and you do that thing where you wave, and they think you're waving to them, but really you're waving to me.
Oh,
no.
Everybody awkwardly waves.
Dahlia! Dahlia, it's so good to see you!
My camera just
You
boop.
out.
yeah,
today
everything just crashed
with your
because
heart.
Amanda cut out and Mike vanished.
Oh,
Oh, am I still cutting out?
No, I can hear you now.
No, you're good.
the machines are speaking.
No.
It's fine. It's a sign from the Pleiadians.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Okay. Yeah,
That's
yeah, no,
right.
I love that. So I looked it up real quick so you're on Aldershot. That's like the main drag going west to east, and then Engineer is north to south. So you're at the corner of Aldershot and Engineer. As we we collide into each other, and then looming in the distance. Did everyone see when the Sears Tower lost power, like 2 weeks ago?
No.
And it was
what-
just this like impossibly tall, creepy-looking building that had this like weird robotic-looking face.
No.
That's exactly what the Hopscotch building is. It's like, whatever, 182 floors. It's like it's impossibly tall, right? Like there's no reason you should miss it when you're looking for it. You should just be able to scan the horizon and see the only building. But yeah, just this like terrifying, enormous building that just moves randomly on its own throughout town, and everyone knows that, but no one like is worried about it for some reason.
I mean, that's why it's called the Hopscotch Building.
That's exactly correct.
Holy shit!
Huh?
I just looked up Sears Tower no power, and it's fucking incredible.
Isn't that good? It's so menacing. It shouldn't be, but it is.
It literally looks like a building someone would make in Minecraft.
Yeah, no, it's so good. Drop a link in chat if you can.
It's
But I think that's going to do it for us. I think that's going to be the end of session 1 of Welcome to Nowhere, Courage the Cowardly One-Shot. Thanks, y'all, for playing. This was amazing. This was fantastic. And I stressed so much about putting all the weird awkwardness I could put into town, and then you guys just brought your A game, and it was fantastic, and I just got to sit back and listen to y'all be weird and creepy.
This is a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, it's been super good. Spam the long boys in chat if you got them.
On boys.
We'll be back
If you got them.
We'll be back.
Watch over you, friends.
We'll be back in 2 weeks to continue this madness, this descent into nowhere. We're back in 1 week playing D&D. A degree from Georgetown. MVP.
So what you do is just like we can pregame our next one shot, and it's just Irene giving us a history about her character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Um,
Irene has backstory.
yeah, she has to. She has to be this deep. Does anybody? What's that?
Nothing.
Does anybody have anything they want to plug before we get out of here?
Watch us again in 2 weeks.
That's true. You should probably watch us in 2 weeks. And in 1 week, but definitely in 2 weeks. All right.
Yeah, we're all together now.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that. Now it's going to be good. If you haven't taken a moment to look in chat to see Riley's fantastic overlay that he slaved over. It's literally the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It gets better, if you can believe that. That's all I'll say.
Oh no.
And yeah, thank you so much for playing. Chat, thanks for hanging out with us. We're out.
Thank you for coming out, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.